Hello friends, good evening. Am I audible and visible? Somebody please ping me so that I can begin with today's important session on Anglo-Mysore Wars. Yes friends, good evening, all of you. Just hold on for a second. Just a second, guys. Okay. So my friends, in today's session, we are going to discuss the Anglo-Mysore Wars. So today we are going to discuss about the first and second Anglo-Mysore War. In tomorrow's session, we will be throwing light on third and fourth Anglo-Mysore War. The aspirants, those who are new to the platform, I have already covered precisely ancient Indian history, medieval Indian history and modern Indian history in quite depth and detail. But there are few important battles which I haven't covered as a part of modern Indian history series. So I'm covering these important battles separately. So by now we have covered different battles such as Anglo-Carnatic Wars, Battle of Plassey, Third Battle of Panipat, Battle of Buxar, and from now onwards, today we are going to start with Anglo-Mysore War. In the coming sessions, we are going to cover Anglo-Sikh War, Anglo-Maratha War, Anglo-Afghan War, and Anglo-Burma Wars. So these sessions are quite important. The reason behind this is, for example, if you're studying Anglo-Mysore War from any particular text, for example, if you're studying from a particular book, you will understand, but you will remember those events for a short span of time. Why? Because there are many characters, correct? And since it is loaded with facts and concept, here I have tried to simplify that in the form of a story. So all these important battles that I'm covering, all of them are covered as a part of a story. Is that clear, everyone? Yes, good evening, Sangeeta ji. So now we are going to throw light on Anglo-Mysore Wars, and today we are going to discuss first and second Anglo-Mysore War. So it's a request to all of you, please listen to me carefully. Please listen to me patiently so that you can understand the concepts in a gradual manner. So we'll be going gradually in a step-by-step manner in the form of a story. Is that clear to all of you? So without wasting any more time, let's begin our today's Anglo-Mysore Wars. Now, before we begin with Anglo-Mysore War, we need to understand specifically about the Wadiyar dynasty. Like, who was Hyder Ali? Who was Tipu Sultan? How did Wadiyar dynasty come into prominence? So we have to understand all these important aspects. Correct? So just give me a second. Nanjaraj and Devaraj. Now, Vijayanagar Empire, it came into prominence approximately around 1336. And it was a time of Delhi Sultanate. And at that time, precisely, it was a rule of Tughlaq dynasty. To be more precise, it was the rule of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. And Vijayanagar Empire, it covered major part of southern India. Now, as we have covered that in Vijayanagar Empire, specifically as a part of medieval India, now different historians have different aspects or different connotations about the origin of Vijayanagar Empire. Historians such as B.L. Rice and P.B. Desai suggest the Kannada origin of Vijayanagar Empire. On the other hand, the historian such as Robert Sewell, he suggests the Telugu origin of Vijayanagar Empire. Correct? Like, I'll give you a very simple example about this. Whenever you study about the Vijayanagar Empire, the first thing that crops up the mind of every aspirant is Harihar and Bukka, also referred as Veerhakka and Bukka, who laid the foundation of Vijayanagar Empire. But who were Harihar and Bukka? Yes, Meghalaya, very good evening. So who were Harihar and Bukka? Okay, let's understand about them. It is said that specifically Harihar and Bukka were working for Kakatiyas of Warangal. Okay, and during the time of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, it is said that Juna Khan or Muhammad bin Tughlaq had attacked the region of Warangal, and its ruler Pratap Rudradev was being defeated. And the two important ministers, that is Harihar and Bukka, they were taken into captivation by Muhammad bin Tughlaq and they were taken back to Delhi. And they were forced to get converted into Islam. After some time, there was a Bhakti saint whose name was Vidyaranya. So Harihar and Bukka, they come back to a place called as Kampili, which is located in Karnataka. And here they come in contact with a Bhakti saint whose name was Vidyaranya. And under the influence of Vidyaranya, they got converted again back into Hinduism. And from here onwards, they laid the foundation of Vijayanagar Empire. So that is about the Telugu origin of Vijayanagar Empire. So very simple words, there were 4 important dynasties that ruled over Vijayanagar Empire consecutively, one after the other. The first dynasty that ruled over the Vijayanagar Empire was Sangam dynasty. It was followed by Saluva dynasty. Then comes Tuluva dynasty, and the most important ruler of Tuluva dynasty was Krishnadevaraya. And finally comes Aravidu dynasty. But with the passage of time, the power and the influence of Vijayanagar Empire started declining. Correct? And there were many splintered states which were also referred as Deccan Sultanate. And the states which were the part of Deccan Sultanate included Bijapur, Birar, Bidar, Golconda and Ahmednagar. And finally in 1565, a battle was fought between all these Deccan Sultanate against the Vijayanagar Empire. So it was a combined army of Golconda, Ahmednagar, Bidar, Birar and Bijapur against the Vijayanagar Empire. And that battle in the books of history is recorded as Battle of Talikota, which was fought in 1565. And from here onwards, Vijayanagar Empire started declining. And it got splintered into different states. So many historians do write that Battle of Talikota, which was fought in 1565, was the last nail in the coffin of Vijayanagar Empire. Correct? So this is how the Vijayanagar Empire declined. And after the decline of Vijayanagar Empire, many small kingdoms came up. One such kingdom was Vodeyar dynasty. Okay. And Vodeyar dynasty, it came into prominence in 1612. But many historians do write that Vodeyar dynasty was formed way back in 1399 as a part of Vijayanagar Empire itself. And precisely it was formed by Raja Yadurai. Please understand these concepts, very important from the exam perspective. Okay. After the decline of Vijayanagar Empire, Vodeyar dynasty came into prominence approximately around 1612. But as per many historians, Vodeyar dynasty was formed way back in 1399 by Raja Yadurai. And Raja Yadurai, he was working as a vassal for Vijayanagar Empire rulers. But finally, it gained prominence in 1612. Then it is believed that Chikka Devaraj, okay, he was one of the most important ruler, and specifically one of the most important ruler of the Vijayanagar Empire was Krishnaraj III. Now, what happened during the time of Krishnaraj III? Let's understand about this. It is said that Krishnaraj III, he was just a tutelar ruler. Simple words, he was just a ruler in the name. In fact, the entire administration of the Vodeyar dynasty was taken care by the 2 important ministers of Krishnaraj. Okay, he is also referred as Chikka Krishnaraj or Chikka Krishnaraj Vodeyar, not Krishnaraj III. Okay, I'll take my words back. It was not Krishnaraj III, it was Chikka Krishnaraj. Okay, so he was just a tutelar ruler. In simple words, he was just a ruler in the name. And the entire administration was taken care by 2 of his important ministers, Nanjaraj and Devraj. Okay, so he was just a ruler in the name. During this time, there was a person who was referred as Hyder Ali. Hyder Ali entered into the service of Vodeyar dynasty as a cavalryman, as a horseman. And when he entered as a horseman, it is said that Hyder Ali was not that literate. Although he was not that literate, but still he proved to be a successful commander-in-chief because he was a person of daring. He was a person of determination. And history has many such examples. We have studied about that in medieval part of India, like for example, Delhi Sultanate. The most literate ruler of the entire Delhi Sultanate was Muhammad bin Tughlaq. But many historians do consider Muhammad bin Tughlaq as a wise fool, and he is known for his 5 major experiments. On the other hand, Alauddin Khilji is considered as the least literate of the entire Delhi Sultanate. But still, he was considered as the most successful ruler of the entire Delhi Sultanate. Similarly, in the Mughals, you can observe Humayun, he is considered as the most literate person of the entire Mughal dynasty. But still, during the time of Humayun, there was a political vacuum of 15 years. On the other hand, the least literate of the entire Mughal dynasty was Akbar. But everyone knows about this, that Mughal Empire reached its zenith or peak during the time of Akbar. Similarly here, during the reign of Chikka Krishnaraj, it is believed that Hyder Ali entered into the service as a soldier. He was a person of daring and determination. And with the passage of time, he became the commander-in-chief, the military commander of the Wodeyar dynasty. Who? Hyder Ali. Okay. Now it is said that Hyder Ali was an intelligent person. He knew that if you have to protect your kingdom of Mysore, in that case, you have to train your army on the western lines. So he had established an arsenal in 1755 at a place called as Dindigul in Tamil Nadu with the help of French experts. Okay, but after a certain point of time, again the Hindu Wodeyar dynasty started declining. Why? Because ruler Krishnaraj, he was not an able administrator. And there was specifically Nizam of Hyderabad, Marathas, English East India Company had an eye over the region of Mysore. So Krishnaraj, he proved to be an incompetent ruler. And this was seen as one of the best opportunity by Hyder Ali in 1761. And in 1761, Hyder Ali declared himself as an independent sultan of Mysore Sultanate. And he conquered different regions from 1761 to 1763. For example, he had conquered the region of Dodaballapur, then Bidnur, all of them located in Karnataka, Sera and Malabar. I repeat, Dodaballapur, Bidnur, Sera and Malabar. All these regions were being conquered by whom? Hyder Ali. Apart from this, the region of Mysore was also very prosperous, and there were different reasons behind the economic prosperity of Mysore. And what were the important reasons for economic prosperity of Mysore? Let's throw light on them. First of all, Mysore, it was a part of Raichur Doab. Now, what is the meaning of the word Doab? For example, if a particular river is flowing in this direction, if any other river joins the main river from the left side, it is referred as left bank tributary. On the other hand, if any other rivers joins the main river from the right side, it is referred as right bank tributary. And the region between these two rivers is referred as Doab. And Doab, it's a highly fertile region. Highly fertile region. Because the river deposits their sediments in this region. So, precisely speaking, the peasants of Mysore Sultanate, they were quite successful. Why? It was located in the Doab of Krishna, Tungabhadra river and its tributaries. So, one of the major reasons for prosperity of the Mysore Sultanate. Second important reason, Kollar gold mines. Then, ports such as Mahe and Kannanur. They provided access to the, trading activities, offshore trading activities, then sandalwood and handicrafts. So these were the major reasons for economic prosperity of the Mysore. So this is the basics or background of the Anglo-Mysore War. So before we understand the first and second Anglo-Mysore War, it is necessary to understand the background of Anglo-Mysore Wars. So this was in short about the background of Anglo-Mysore Wars. Many of their aspirants, those who have joined late on the platform, I'll repeat all the point within next 30 seconds so that you can easily correlate everything. Okay? So please pay attention carefully. See, Vijayanagar Empire. Like it is said that Vijayanagar Empire covered the major part of southern India, and Battle of Talikota, which was fought in 1565, proved to be the last nail in the coffin of Vijayanagar Empire. It was fought between the rulers of Vijayanagar Empire and the combined army of Bijapur, Bidar, Birar, Ahmednagar and Golconda. And approximately around 1612, the Hindu Wodeyar dynasty came into prominence. It is believed that Chikka Devraj was one of the ruler. Another important ruler was Chikka Krishnaraj. But Chikka Krishnaraj was an incompetent ruler, and the entire administration was being taken care by his two important ministers, Nanjaraj and Devraj. During this time, Hyder Ali entered into the service of Wadiyar dynasty. He entered into the service as a normal soldier, as a normal cavalryman. But with the passage of time, he rose to the level of commander-in-chief or the military commander of Wadiyar dynasty. In 1755, he, started an arsenal, the factory for manufacturing arms and ammunition at Dindigul in Tamil Nadu, with the help of French experts. And in 1761, he declared himself as independent ruler of Mysore Sultanate. He conquered many regions such as Dodaballapur, Bidanur, Sera and Malabar. Apart from this, what were the important reasons for economic prosperity of Mysore? Such as Mysore, it is located in the Doab region, Doab of Krishna, Tungabhadra and its tributary, handicraft, sandalwood, Kollar gold mine, ports such as Mahe and Kannanur were the important reasons for Mysore Sultanate, economic progress of Mysore Sultanate. And because of this reason, Nizam of Hyderabad, Marathas and English East India Company had an eye over the region of Mysore. Hope so, my friends, the point is clear till here. Hope so you understood the background of Anglo-Mysore Wars. Correct? Now, let's throw light on the first Anglo-Mysore War. Okay? So, my first question to you is, how many, as a part of Anglo-Mysore War series, how many wars were fought? Yes? Totally, how many wars were there? 1, 2, 3 or 4? Yes, please answer in the comment section. My friends, as a part of Anglo-Mysore War, totally 4 wars were fought. Is that clear to all of you? So, you have to pay attention carefully. You have to listen to me carefully so that you can understand the concepts in depth and detail. Because the first Anglo-Mysore War, it started in 1766 and ended in 1769 and it ended with a treaty which was referred as Treaty of Madras. Then in 1780, the second Anglo-Mysore War began and it ended in 1784 with another important treaty which was referred as Treaty of Mangalore. So we need to understand in quite depth and detail about the first and second Anglo-Mysore War. Is that clear to all of you? So pay attention carefully. I'll try to explain all the things in the form of a story so that it becomes quite easier for the aspirants to understand the things. Now, how the alliances were created, let's understand. Okay, we have already studied the series of Anglo-Carnatic Wars, correct? As we had seen, Battle of Plassey was fought in 1757 and at that time, Mir Jafar was made as the Nawab of Bengal and Battle of Buxar was signed in 1764. And after Battle of Buxar, Robert Clive signed a treaty which was referred as Treaty of Allahabad. And Treaty of Allahabad was signed in 1765. Correct? So as per the Treaty of Allahabad, if you remember, we had discussed about that yesterday, Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II had to give the Diwani rights of Bihar, Bengal and Odisha to English East India Company. Correct? So Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II gave the Diwani rights of Bihar, Bengal and Odisha to English East India Company after the Battle of Buxar that was fought in 1764. Now precisely speaking, what is Carnatic region? So as a part of Anglo-Carnatic Wars, we have thrown light on that. Carnatic, it's a region located between Bay of Bengal and Eastern Ghats. And here also there were territories of English East India Company. Okay. And as we have seen, after the Anglo-Carnatic Wars, the Nawab of Arcot was Wallaja. True. We had seen about this. Nawab of Arcot was Wallaja. Arcot was a capital of Carnatic. And Wallaja was made as the Nawab of Arcot with the help of English East India Company. Now, Robert Clive, he wanted to connect all the territories of English East India Company from Bengal to Carnatic. He wanted to connect all the territories of English East India Company. So he said to Wallaja that I require your help in that. So Wallaja said, I don't have any issue in helping you out, but there is one important problem. So English East India Company said, what is the problem? So Specifically, Vallaja replied, the place referred as Northern Sarkars, it is the problem. Why Northern Sarkars it is a problem? Because Northern Sarkar, it was under the control of French East India Company. Okay. Robert Clive, he wanted to connect the territories of English East India Company from Bengal to Carnatic region. But Northern Sarkar, it was in between. And Northern Sarkar, it was under the control of whom? Northern Sarkar, it was under the control of French East India Company. So how the region of Northern Sarkar, it came under the control of French East India Company? As we had seen as a part of Anglo-Carnatic War, this region was gifted by Nizam of Hyderabad, Salabat Jung to French East India Company. Hence, the region of Northern Sarkar was under the control of French East India Company. Okay. So, Northern Sarkar, it was also an economically prosperous region, and it included the districts such as Chikakol, also referred as Srikakulam, then Guntur, then Kondapalli, then Ellore. All these are the important regions as a part of Northern Sarkar. So, economically, this region was also very prosperous. But it was under the control of whom? It was under the control of French East India Company. Because in 1753, Northern Sarkars was given by Salabat Jung, the Nizam of Hyderabad, to French East India Company. Now what happened? In 1758, English East India Company attacked the region of Northern Sarkar, and the French were ousted from this region. And when the French were ousted from this region, again the region of Northern Sarkar came under whom? The Nizam of Hyderabad, Salabat Jung. Correct? I'll repeat the points again. Yes, Kirmada ji, very good evening. Pay attention carefully. Listen to me very carefully. After Battle of Buxar, Bengal was under the control of English East India Company. Carnatic, certain parts of Carnatic was under the control of English East India Company. And English East India Company had helped out the Nawab of Arcot, whose name was, Vallaja. Correct? Now, English East India Company wanted to connect the territories of Bengal to Carnatic. But at this particular point of time, Northern Sarkars was a hindrance because it was under the control of French East India Company. And this region was gifted to French East India Company by Salabat Jung, Nizam of Hyderabad. Now, specifically in 1758, Northern Sarkars came under the again control of Salabat Jung. How? Because English East India Company attacked Northern Sarkar and the French East India Company was ousted. So again it came under Salabat Jung. So English East India Company requested Salabat Jung that give us the region of Northern Sarkars on rent. Okay? They requested that please give us this region on rent. At this particular point of time, it is said that English East India Company, like Salabat Jung, he denied giving this region of Northern Sarkars to English East India Company on rent. Now, in 1762, the new Nizam of Hyderabad was Asaf Jah II. Please understand this. The new Nizam of Hyderabad was Asaf Jah II. So, Asaf Jah II is also referred as Nizam Ali Khan. Again, English East India Company approached Asaf Jah II and said, please give us the region of Northern Sarkars on rent. He also denied giving the region of Northern Sarkars on rent to English East India Company. Why? Because Asaf Jah knew one thing, that English East India Company had supported his rival Vallaja in Anglo-Carnatic Wars. So, it is said that Asaf Jah II also declined giving the region of Northern Sarkars to English East India Company. Now, English East India Company had no other option but go to the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. Now, very first question that crops up in the mind of every aspirant, what has Shah Alam II to do with the Northern Sarkar? Because the region of Northern Sarkar, it was under what we say, this person, Nizam of Hyderabad. Like what has, like specifically, what can Shah Alam II do? But if you remember, as we had discussed previously, after Aurangzeb, there were series of weak successors. And the different provinces or the different provincial governors started declaring their independence, such as Nizam of Hyderabad, Nawab of Bengal, Nawab of Awadh. So on paper, all these territories were still under Mughals. Although all the subedars and the governors had declared themselves as independent. So, but on paper, all these territories were under the Mughals. Hence, English East India Company approached Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. And immediately Shah Alam II issued an order to this person, Asaf Jah, to give the region of Northern Sarkars to English East India Company. Okay, he issued a decree that you have to pass on the region of Northern Sarkars to English East India Company. Now, initially, this person, what we say Asaf Jah II, he deterred English East India Company with war. That if you forcefully try to acquire the region of Northern Sarkar, I will declare a war against you. This was said by Asaf Jah II to English East India Company. But Asaf Jah II knew one thing. He cannot fight single-handedly with English East India Company. Okay? And secondly, his financial condition was not up to the mark. His financial condition was also very weak. So finally, when English East India Company started acquiring the region of Northern Sarkar, Asaf Jah II said, at least give us the rent. So English East India Company was like, was I speaking in Spanish or German previously? I was saying previously that give us this region on rent. So English East India Company said that don't worry, we will give you 7 lakh rupees. So Asaf Jah II gave the region of Northern Sarkars to English East India Company on a rent of 7 lakh rupees. On the other hand, English East India Company had also promised Asaf Jah, that is Nizam of Hyderabad, if any other power is trying to attack you, do not worry about this. English East India Company will support you. My friends, can you observe one thing? How diplomatic English East India Company was? On one hand, specifically, they are supporting the Nawab of Arcot, whose name was Wallaja. Okay. On the other hand, English East India Company is also supporting Nizam of Hyderabad, Asaf Jah II. And English East India Company knows this, that both of them are staunch enemies of each other. Correct? So English East India Company was very diplomatic. Correct. Yes. Kirmada, on the borders of Andhra and Odisha, you can find the Northern Sarkar regions. For example, if you observe the hill ranges of the Eastern Ghats, such as Nalla Malla, Northern Sarkar, Palkunda, Velkunda, Javadi, Sheveroy, all these are the hills of Eastern Ghats. So Northern Sarkar, it is located on the borders of Odisha and Andhra. Is that clear, Kirmada? So see, coming back here, this person, Asaf Jah II, he gave the region of Northern Sarkars to English East India Company, and the rent was how many rupees? 7 lakh rupees. On the other hand, English East India Company said to Asaf Jah II, even if you require any kind of help, please do let us know. And Nizam of Hyderabad already had a good, what we say, friendship with whom? The Marathas. So a triple alliance was created here. And a triple alliance was created between whom? A triple alliance was specifically created between Marathas, Nizam of Hyderabad and English East India Company. Okay. Hope so the story is clear till here. Please answer in the comment section. My friends, if you want me to repeat any particular part of the story, I do not have any problem with that. But all the concepts should be crystal clear. Did you understand till here? Please answer in the comment section so that I can move further. Okay. And everything has been mentioned as a part of the PDF or the PPT, and you can download the PDF or PPT from my Telegram channel, history_Alok Ojha. Clear? So in this manner, okay, Kirmada, thank you. So in this manner, a triple alliance was created. Alliance of English East India Company, Nizam of Hyderabad and Marathas. True? Now, as I've told you previously, because of the economic prosperity of the Mysore, all the three had an eye over the region of Mysore. Okay. Yes, Malish, thank you. Sangeeta, thank you. So, all the three of them had an eye over the region of Mysore. And at that time, Hyder Ali was the ruler of Mysore Sultanate. Now, Hyder Ali, as I've told you, although this person was not that literate, but he was a person of daring and determination. He was a person with intellect. True. At this particular point of time, what happened? They created an alliance against whom? the Mysore Sultanate. They created an alliance specifically against Hyder Ali. Now, what did Hyder Ali do? In 1766, okay. Yes, Kirmada, I'll try to do that as well. I'll also try to do that. In 1766, what happened further? It is believed that like the first Anglo-Mysore War began. How? In 1766, the Peshwa Madhav Rao attacked Hyder Ali, attacked the region of Mysore. And when specifically Peshwa Madhav Rao attacked the region of Mysore, what happened? Hyder Ali said to Madhav Rao, why are you continuously attacking the region of Mysore Sultanate? What do you get? In that case, I will give you certain parts of northern Mysore. Apart from this, I will give you 30 lakh rupees. And this offer was liked by Peshwa Madhav Rao. And when this offer was liked by Peshwa Madhav Rao got neutralized. So very simple words, Marathas were out of the alliance. Okay, I repeat, in 1766, Peshwa Madhav Rao attacked the region of Mysore Sultanate. Hyder Ali, he was known for his diplomatic skills. Hyder Ali said to Peshwa Madhav Rao, why are you attacking this region? You want money? I'll give you 30 lakh rupees. You want certain territories? I will cede you certain parts of northern Mysore. Peshwa Madhav Rao liked this offer. And in this manner, Marathas were neutralized by Hyder Ali. Then comes Nizam of Hyderabad. Hyder Ali wanted to neutralize Nizam of Hyderabad, and he said to Nizam of Hyderabad that Nawab of our court, Wallaja, is your enemy. Nawab of our court, Wallaja, is also my enemy. So why don't we join hands together against our common enemy? First thing. And secondly, how can you trust English East India Company when on one hand, English East India Company is maintaining good relations with Nawab of our court, Wallaja. On the other hand, English East India Company is also maintaining good relations with Nizam of Hyderabad. So Hyder Ali in this manner tried to convince Nizam of Hyderabad. And second important factor, do not forget this, that forcefully the region of Northern Sarkar was taken by English East India Company from you. So join hands with us. We combinedly will attack the region of our court, because the common enemy of Mysore Sultanate and Nizam of Hyderabad is Nawab of our court. And after attacking that region, we will equally distribute the territories. This offer was put forward by Hyder Ali to whom? Nizam of Hyderabad. Nizam of Hyderabad, he also got neutralized. Now English East India Company thought that this person Hyder Ali is a very diplomatic person, and English East India Company started retreating back. And when English East India Company started retreating back, many of the historians do believe that specifically Hyder Ali had finally reached till the region of Fort St. George, and he was able to acquire the region of Madras. But finally a treaty was signed which was referred as Treaty of Madras. As per Treaty of Madras, it is said that English East India Company and Hyder Ali returned back each other's conquered territories. First thing. Apart from this, English East India Company had also said to Hyder Ali that if any of the powers attack on you, please do not forget English East India Company will always try to help you out. So this was promised by English East India Company to Hyder Ali as a part of Treaty of Madras. So the first Anglo-Mysore War, it began in 1766 and ended in 1769. And it ended with Treaty of Madras. So one clause was returning back each other's, conquered territories, returning back the prisoners of war. And the third important, English East India Company promised out to help the Hyder Ali in case the region of Mysore Sultanate was attacked by anybody else. Is that clear to all of you? Did you understand the first Anglo-Mysore War? Please answer in the comment section. My friends, now let's throw light on Second Anglo-Mysore War, which was fought in 1780 to 1784. As we have discussed right now, the First Anglo-Mysore War. Okay. So as a part of First Anglo-Mysore War, we have discussed that the First Anglo-Mysore War ended in 1769. And the Second Anglo-Mysore War, it began in 1780. Now the question arises, what happened within a span of 11 years? That again, English East India Company and Hyder Ali are what we say against each other. What happened within a span of 11 years? So now let's understand about this. And first of all, let's understand how the alliances were being created. Okay. So it is necessary to understand first of all the alliances. Let's understand this concept first. Pay attention carefully. Like it is said that as a part of Treaty of Madras, what had happened? English East India Company had promised the Hyder Ali that if anybody attacks on you, we are ready to help you out. In 1771, pay attention carefully. In 1771, again Marathas attacked Hyder Ali. Again Marathas attacked the Mysore Sultanate. Now, like specifically, this person, like English East India Company had promised Hyder Ali, if anybody attacks on you, we are ready to help you out. Immediately, Hyder Ali goes to English East India Company and said that you have promised us that in Treaty of Madras. English East India Company completely denied. It's a battle between you and Marathas. Okay, we are not going to interfere. Finally, Hyder Ali had to pay 36 lakh rupees again to the Marathas in 1771 to purchase peace. Okay. Now what happened? In 1779, English East India Company attacked the region of Mahe. Okay. And Mahe, it was a port which was given by Hyder Ali to French East India Company. Because it is said that French East India Company used to supply arms and ammunition to Hyder Ali at the port of Mahe. So Hyder Ali had given the port of Mahe to French East India Company. So in 1779, Hyder Ali had attacked English East India Company attacked the port of Mahe. So at this particular point of time, Hyder Ali was literally confused. First of all, you had promised us to help us against the Marathas, but I have to pay 36 lakh rupees to Marathas to purchase peace. What is the use of Treaty of Madras? Suppose even if you are not helping out, there's no issue with that. But why are you attacking our territories? Because English East India Company had attacked the port of Mahe in 1779, which was under the control of whom? It was under the control of French East India Company. In simple words, this port was given by Hyder Ali to French East India Company because he used to purchase arms and ammunition from French East India Company at the port of Mahe. Now, as we have discussed previously, Britain and France are staunch rivals of each other, not only in India, but throughout the world. True? Now, it is said that they attacked the region of Mahe because there was one important reason. American Civil War is linked here. American War of Independence is linked here. Like, you might have heard about this. America, which is one of the strongest economy of the world today. Initially, it was a colony of Britain. And there were 13 British colonies on the east coast of America. And at that time, what had happened? Around 1775, the American War of Independence had begun. And at that particular point of time, the natives of America were supported by the French soldiers. So, because of that reason, what happened? Britain attacked the territories of French East India Company in India. So, in this manner, it is said that the Second Anglo-Mysore War, to an extent, was linked to American War of Independence. Okay? Now, Hyder Ali, he got alarmed. He got alerted. He knew one thing, I cannot trust this person, English East India Company, this entity, English East India Company at any cost. So I have to create alliances with other. So Hyder Ali, he created an alliance with the Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad against English East India Company and Nawab of Arcot, Wallacha. Now the first question that crop up in the mind of every aspirant is, on one hand, Marathas had attacked the region of Hyder Ali, they had attacked the region of Mysore. And Hyder Ali had to pay 36 lakh rupees to Marathas to purchase peace. So why is Hyder Ali entering into an alliance with Marathas? There was a reason behind this. And why Marathas are ready to enter into alliance with Hyder Ali? And what is the reason? Because in 1775, Anglo-Maratha War had begun. And since Anglo-Maratha War had begun in 1775, Marathas were now against English East India Company. Correct? So Marathas joined hand with whom? Mysore Sultanate or Hyder Ali. And secondly, English East India Company was supporting Nawab of Arcot, and Nawab of Arcot was a staunch enemy of Nizam of Hyderabad. So Nizam of Hyderabad also, he became ready to join hands with Mysore Sultanate or Hyder Ali. And in this manner, an alliance was created. On one hand, English East India Company and the Nawab of Arcot, Walla Jah. On the other hand, Marathas, Mysore Sultanate and Nizam of Hyderabad. And then began Second Anglo-Mysore War in 1780, which finally ended in 1784. So what happened as a part of Second Anglo-Mysore War? Let's understand about this. Hope so the point is clear till here. Everyone, let's understand further. This is the region of Arcot. And Arcot, it was the capital of Carnatic. Correct? This was ruled by Walla Jah. The combined army of Nizam of Hyderabad, Marathas and Mysore Sultanate, they besieged the region of Arcot. Okay? And from one side, Marathas was there. From the other side, Nizam of Hyderabad was there. From the other two sides, from the north and south direction, Tipu Sultan, one of the sons of Hyder Ali, and Hyder Ali, they had besieged the region of Arcot. Immediately, it is said that the Nawab of Arcot, Walla Jah, he sought help from English East India Company. And when Walla Jah, he sought help from English East India Company created two contingents. They had a plan that they will be sending two contingents to help the Nawab of Arcot, Walla Jah. One contingent was created at a place called as Guntur, which was a part of Northern Sarkar. And that contingent was led by Colonel Bailey. Second contingent was created at Fort St. George in Madras. And it was under the command of Hector Munro. So, English East India Company created two important contingents to help the Nawab of Arcot, Walla Jah. The first contingent was at Guntur, and this contingent was under the command of Colonel Bailey. The second contingent was created at Fort St. George in Madras. It was under the command of Major Hector Munro. And what was the plan? Both of these contingents will start moving in the respective directions and they will meet at a place called as Kanjivaram. And when both the contingents will meet at a place called as Kanjivaram, they will start attacking the Nizam of Hyderabad, the Marathas, the Tipu Sultan, and so on. Okay? This was the plan of English East India Company. Hyder Ali comes to know about this plan. So what happened? As soon as Colonel Bailey started moving towards Kanjivaram, Hyder Ali, he asked his son Tipu Sultan that ensure that this person, Colonel Bailey, should not reach Kanjivaram and you should stop him at a place called as Polilur. Immediately, Tipu Sultan came up with his forces and he stopped the forces of Colonel Bailey at Polilur itself before reaching Kanjivaram. It is believed that this person, Colonel Bailey, had to retreat back to Guntur. And Hyder Ali did the same thing. Before Hector Munro could reach Kanjivaram, Hyder Ali started attacking the forces of Hector Munro in this direction. It is believed that Hector Munro also had to retreat back to Fort St. George. Many of the historians do believe that Hyder Ali was on the verge of capturing the Fort St. George located in Madras. But he thought that it is the best way that I will go back and again besiege the region of Arcot. Okay. So, the first plan of English East India Company under Colonel Bailey and Major Hector Munro, it failed. Now, they went on for the plan B. Immediately what happened? Two forces were created. Okay. The first force, the two forces were created and all these forces were being managed by a person referred as Ire Coote. And these forces were created at Fort William. So, one army or one unit of these forces would be dispatched to the region of Malabar. And one unit would be dispatched to Malabar, and the second unit would be coming to Fort St. George. The question again that arrives in the mind of an aspirant, why one unit was sent to Malabar? There was a reason behind this. Malabar, it was under the control of Hyder Ali. And when Malabar region would be attacked, or when the ports of Malabar would be attacked, immediately Hyder Ali will ask his son Tipu Sultan to go and protect that region. So in this manner, Tipu Sultan would be distracted. Okay. Again, the second unit will come to Fort St. George, and from Fort St. George, again Major Hector Munro and the second unit will come back here. Clear? So in this manner, what will happen? We will try to distract these people. And diplomatically, Aire Coot, what did he do? He had sided Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad on his side. He asked Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad that whatever territories would be conquered, 50% of territories would be shared with you both guys. So Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad, who were initially with whom? Hyder Ali, now they switched their loyalties. And in that case, Hyder Ali, he had to fight alone. In 1781, there were series of 3 battles that were fought. One was Battle of Polilur, then comes Battle of Portinovo, then comes Battle of Sholingur. And in all these battles, English East India Company emerged victorious. In 1782, Hyder Ali died due to cancer. And in 1784, this battle ended with a treaty which is referred as Treaty of Mangalore. And as per this treaty, both the sides, gave back their conquered territories. So this was all about the Second Anglo-Mysore War, which began in 1780 and ended in 1784 with a treaty which was referred as Treaty of Mangalore. Is that clear to all of you? So, as a part of today's session, we have discussed the 2 important battles, that is the First Anglo-Mysore War and the Second Anglo-Mysore War. Before that, we have also discussed about the background of Anglo-Mysore War. Tomorrow's session again is very, very important because we are going to discuss about the Third Anglo-Mysore War and Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. And Third Anglo-Mysore War followed by Treaty of Seringapatam, it is very important. Why? Because it was a kind of a humiliating treaty for Tipu Sultan, one of the sons of Hyder Ali. Is that clear to all of you? So tomorrow's session again is very important. So this was all about the First and Second Anglo-Mysore War. Hope so the points are clear to all of you. Please answer in the comment section. My friends, StudyIQ IS has come up with GS Foundation P2I batches for 2027 and 2028. And the admission for the batches are closing tomorrow. That is on 10th of June. Now the batches are completely based on SMART model. Like as a part of SMART model, S stands for the structured classes. Like the aspirants would be taught the basics first, followed by the foundation, followed by the advanced. And there would be a mentor who would be guiding you throughout your journey for civil services preparation. Like framing the proper timetable, answer writing, essay structuring, everything. A mentor would be guiding you. Then there would be a proper weekly test, fortnightly test and monthly test that would be conducted to gauge the competence of the aspirant. Apart from this, the batches are available in Hindi, the batches are available in bilingual, and the most important part, there's a complete separate batch in English medium that will cater to the needs of the aspirants precisely from southern part of India and northeastern India. Okay, and it's an evening English batch. The admissions for the batches are closing tomorrow, that is 10th of June. And the prices for batches are starting at 11,999. So use the code Alok Clive that is flashing on your screen to get the benefits of these batches. I repeat the code Alok Live. Is that clear? Yes, Kirmada, you have a question. After Second Anglo-Maratha War, Marathas turned against Hyder Shah and how Marathas fought alongside Hyder Ali. So it's specifically, as I've told you, Kirmada, it was after Second Anglo-Maratha War that you are saying, the fact that you are narrating, it was after Second Anglo-Maratha War. But as I've told you, the entire process, it began way back in 1771 and Second Anglo-Mysore War started in 1780. Getting the points clear? So in 1775 itself, the Anglo-Maratha War got initiated. Why? Because Treaty of Surat was signed. We'll study about that as well. As a part of Treaty of Surat, Raghunath Rao Like he was seeking help from English East India Company so that he can become the Peshwa, because Savai Madhav Rao had become the Peshwa. And for that purpose, he had sought the help from English East India Company. And English East India Company had sent Colonel Keatings to help out the person Raghunath Rao in 1775. And from here onwards itself, Anglo-Maratha War had begun. Is that clear? So, as a part of Second Anglo-Maratha War, it happened at a later time, quite later time. Getting the points clear? So, specifically, this was one of the prime reasons. Hope so, Kirmada, your point is clear. Okay. So, my friends, any other question, any other doubt, any other query, please feel free to ask. I'll be waiting for your answer in the comment section for the next 20 seconds. So, hope so you have understood the first and second Anglo-Mysore War. Apart from this, you have also understood the previously that we have discussed about the Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar. Clear? So, my friends, with this, I'll stop my words for the day. See you guys tomorrow with the third and fourth Anglo-Mysore War. Thank you and have a very nice day. Bye-bye everyone. Jai Hind.